Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and this week we got some updates for the patch 9.2. Like a Guardian Druid nerf, Blizzard decided to curb the value of the Guardian Druid tier set, stating that it's overperforming in Mythic Plus content. This week we also have class buffs and tuning, which we covered in a previous video. We will still go over these updates briefly, mostly focusing on how these changes will impact your class for the patch 9.2. We also got some tuning to mythic and heroic bosses in the raid of Sepulchre. And this week, the Mage Tower makes its return earlier than expected, with Blizzard announcing that the Mage Tower is becoming a permanent feature for World of Warcraft going forward. I want to cover all of these updates in today's video, but right before we do that, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do. So let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel as well as to the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to catch more regular patch 9.2 updates or future WoW expansion announcements. In these week's updates, we're seeing the Guardian Druid Mythic Plus damage getting knocked down a peg. The Guardian Druid tier set bonus lets them radiate cosmic damage and heal themselves whenever they enter Berserk, which can be amplified if you play the Incarnation talent, giving you a far longer window of your Berserk output. Initially, when players got their hands on the Guardian Druid 4-piece tier set bonus, they noticed incredibly high amount of AoE damage in Mythic Plus dungeon content. The damage on average was so high, it was enough to embarrass a majority of the DPS players, especially when going for big AoE pools. This gave Guardian Druids a distinct advantage when pulling multiple mobs together in both the damage and survivability, at least when compared to other tanks. You could also combine this damage output together with the legacy of the Sleeper Legendary, which gave you more Berserk windows, or rather Incarnation windows, and amplified your damage further. Together with the Venthyr Covenant and the Venthyr Legendary, you were looking for pretty big damage windows every time on your Bear Druid. Blizzard is going to be nerfing this tier set specifically by giving it a 5 target soft cap, which means that the tier set will do full cosmic damage to 5 nearby enemies, but target 6, 7, 8 or above will take reduced damage from the tier set bonus. They also did mention that they will monitor the performance of Guardian Druids closely in case they need to buff the tier set bonus back up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this change? And do you think it's going to impact Guardian Druid's stellar AoE Mythic Plus performance with this change in the patch 9.2? We also got a variety of classes getting buffed this week. We will go over all of these updates very briefly on how it'll impact your class performance for the patch 9.2. This week, Unholy Death Knights are receiving a 5% damage buff. The initial reaction by the community is that this buff is unlikely to make Unholy Death Knights more competitive or as competitive as Frost Death Knights for the PvE content. However, with the growing popularity of Unholy Death Knights within PvP content, many players are excited for the 5% damage buff. Feral Druids are also getting buffed, with a slight single target damage increase and a slight improvement in AoE output. This AoE buff is a step in the right direction, but if Blizzard wanted to make Feral Druids actually competitive for pushing Mythic Plus content, then they would need to have a lot more help going forward. One of the buffs Feral Druids received was a damage tuning to the ability of Swipe. With a 15% damage increase, Swipe does now almost as much single target damage as the ability of Shred, minus the interactions between abilities like Berserk and Shred comp point generation. Because Swipe costs less energy than Shred, I wonder if a build will be made in the future that focuses on using Swipe to generate most of your combo points. Beastmaster Hunter also saw a damage and an AoE buff. This damage buff is likely to be usable in PvP content where Beastmaster Hunters seem to be performing well, though the majority of the community feels that these buffs are not enough to make Beastmastery competitive enough for PvE content, and likely it will require more changes and updates going forward. Mistral Monks saw a damage increase to their Spinning Crane Kick ability. It's a nice little damage buff that'll help Mistral Monks contribute more AoE damage in Mythic Plus content and certain AoE focused raid fights. Outlaw Rogues are seeing a cleave damage buff to the ability of Blade Flurry. However, the Outlaw Rogue tier set has been experiencing some bugs. Both the 2-piece and the 4-piece have a hard time interacting with the Blade Flurry cleave mechanic. It'll likely require tier set fixes as well as extra help from Blizzard to make Outlaw Rogue more competitive for Mythic Plus content. Elemental Shamans saw a 5% damage buff. It's a nice damage buff, but it's not expected to make any major shifts in the performance of Elemental Shamans currently for PvE content. Destruction Warlocks also received a 5% damage buff. As of recently, this spec been getting a lot of popularity in both PvE content as well as PvP. Together with the Warlock 4-piece tier set bonus and the 5% damage buff, Destruction Warlock is looking really exciting for the patch 9.2. Protection Warriors also saw a variety of buffs to become more sturdy. All of these defensive buffs are not looking to make Protection Warriors better than the other tanks, but are definitely going to help them be more competitive with the other tank classes, which should hopefully help bolster the participation of Protection Warriors within PvE content. We also got some raid tuning for the raid of Sepulchre, with the boss Skolix getting his health slightly reduced in both Mythic and Heroic modes. The Fallen Oracle boss health has been nerfed slightly for the Heroic difficulty, with the Halo mechanic made easier to counter in LFR and normal difficulties. When the Lords of Dread enter their swarm phase, they will take 100% from all abilities, not just 100% from AoE specific abilities. And Regulon's health and damage has been nerfed slightly in the Heroic difficulty. The Mage Tower is making a return as of this week. Initially, Blizzard planned to bring back the Mage Tower every so often, only during Legion time walking. But due to the popular demand, and because the Mage Tower is quite a challenging piece of content, Blizzard decided to make it a permanent fixture for World of Warcraft content going forward. This is a fantastic move, as it takes away a lot of the pressure of the Mage Tower being limited content, where if players do not finish it during specific Legion time walking, they won't see the tower for another 3 months. Regular attempts will give players more of an opportunity to practice some of these fights in order to eventually learn them and collect some of the iconic new rewards. Unlike the original Legion Mage Tower, the Shadowlands version of the Mage Tower is a time walking experience that downscales your character inside of the Mage Tower to face one of the 7 different challenges depending on your spec, for a variety of unique rewards like iconic tier set gear in a different recolor, the brand new Mage Tower book mount, as well as a meta achievement for those willing to tackle every single challenge on every single spec in the game. Hopefully in the future, we'll see more time-limited content become more permanent for players to access anytime going forward, like various time-walking events, time-walking raids, and even potentially Legion Mythic Plus time-walking dungeons. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about all these patch 9.2 updates? In the comments, let me know what you think about the recent nerf to Guardian Druids. What do you think about the recent nerfs to the Guardian Druid tier set, and how do you think it's going to affect their Mythic Plus performance? As per always, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. As per usual, in the description, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly. DMs are always open. You can always hit me up on Discord. Let me know what you thought about this video. Join our Discord to join our community. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.